Hello, this is James. I was very fortunate in the Secrets of the Ancients mini box opening, the best box opening, and I got 2 Junk Synchron very early. When this card is normal summon, you can target 1 level 2 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in defensive position, but it has its effects negated. And this is the beginning of those sweet and easy synchro showcons. All we need is Junk Synchron, and we can go into our level 5 Armades, or Junk Warrior, or Goyo Chaser, or X-Saber Wayne, if we so choose. Because what grows in the graveyard gives us Dark Verger, level 2 in the graveyard, normal summon Junk Synchron, special summon Dark Verger, synchro showcon, barring a Canadia or a treacherous trap hole. So I think that the theme of this well, there's no really consistent theme to the it's like beasts and insects and like a little bit of plants, but for the most part it's splashable cards. So what we're gonna do with our Junk Synchron is we're gonna take him and we're gonna plug him into an existing deck that already works and also has a variety of levels to synchro showcon other synchro monsters. So having Junk Synchron, well, we have Ancient Fairy Dragon, tech against the vampires. We have our Armades, obviously. We have Junk Warrior for memes. Powered Insectron is a new super rare synchro monster from the mini box. He's pretty neat. And Junk Synchron unlocks the Junk Berserker, but we need to have those level 4s. And I need you guys to not freak out for a second. Okay, just don't freak out. The deck that we're bringing back is going to be for hires. All right, so we're going to put these for hires in real fast like that. Ooh, yeah. I always feel edgy when I max out the ban list. 2 semi-limiteds and 1 limited card. So Junk Synchron can have access to our Dark Verger, but then we also have other level 2s that he can special summon. They don't get their effects are negated. That would be awesome. That would be so good. But when he can, if for some reason your Dark Verger gets banished out of the graveyard, then you can still have level 2s to go into your level 5s. And you have other levels of monsters that you can use. 3 and 3, 6, 3 and 3, 3 and 6, 9, 3 and 4, 7, 7. So I think that for hires with the Junk Synchron can be a very fun synchro showcon deck. And the reason for this lineup, so the reason I want to do this like this is we need removal. Donpa gives us that removal. We're not having Wiz because we're going to go heavy on the Recon Scout for Hire to remove the back row. And then with Junk Synchron into Armades, we don't need to worry about back row so much. And then we have the good removal with the Donpa. That's my thinking with this lineup of for hires anyhow. We're going to have a little more firepower with the Mage Power. We're going to have the Mayhem for hire. And then we're just going to add, some good traps. My attitude to traps is don't dig for staples. That's how you lose all your gems. And I like those on-attack declaration traps. Your Wall of Daddy, your Sakuretsu Armor, your Widespread Ruin. I took them all out because of the enemy Armades. I don't want to bump up against the enemy Armades and be helpless. So we have Paleozoic Hallucigenia, Paleozoic Canadia, Floodgate Trap Hole, and the Mirror Wall can protect us for a turn to draw into a Donpa. Okay, here we're going second with Bones. By the way, what grows in the graveyard is Nikiza exclusive skill. You get it by dropping, by battling PvP, by battling legendary duelists, and I don't know. I recognize the potential, so I ground for it early. And we have Bujins. Ooh, and we open a Junk Synchron, and we draw the second Junk Synchron. Very reminiscent of my box opening. Summon the Dark Verger out of the graveyard. Synchro Showcon 2 and 3 into Armades. Keeper of the Boundaries, Bujingi Hair, banishes, and we're going to pump Armades up with the Mage Power. Bujingi Hair prevents Bujin Yamato from being destroyed by battle. But even if the opponent gets out, and that's why he searches the Bujingi Turtle, This is an intelligent opponent. But even if the opponent got the crane, got the sinew, it is all useless against the might of Aromage. And there is our Junk Synchron number 2. We're going to go for Janku Warrior, and we're going to destroy that. Aromage is going to destroy the sinew. And opponent has Cosmic Cyclone onto the mirror wall. A second Bujin Yamato, and then we're going to go Paleozoic Canadia, blocked by the Bujingi Turtle. Quick effect. Bujingi Crane over the Junk Warrior. But at this point, the battle is finished. There's nothing that Bujin Yamato can do against the might of Aromage. So, Aromage completely locking out the Bujins. That's good. I like that. That's positive. Here we go first against Yubel. I don't know, does Yubel have any... Do these two crazy women have any feelings about each other? I feel like they would, but they're in different generations. Also, Yubel's not a woman. It's a terrifying and beautiful dragon spirit. Okay, so we have the Yubel skill. Swap him out the Yubels. We open that sweet Junk Synchron. If you think that looks suspicious, that's because I don't want to just pick battles where the for hires do for hire stuff. We need to see that synchro Shokan, and we need to see it working. And Aromage, I'm sure that Aromage will get power crept, but I don't think that it's going to happen anytime soon, at least not for the next month. Aromage onto the Warm Worm, and here again, Aromage locks out the entire deck. Well, except when that happens. And that's why we have Paleozoic Canadia, Yubel, Terror Incarnate on the field, and we're gonna go Paleozoic Canadia to protect the Aromage. And what Aromage does is this: we recon onto. All right, so if you're curious about what just happened there, all right, so Aromage locks out the whole deck. Warm Worm and Yaksha, when they're destroyed by Aromage, can't get their effect off. Recon destroyed the Terra Incarnate, but it did not search. It did not search the Ultimate Nightmare, because it says when this face-up card leaves the field, you can special summon. So if you destroy it when it's face down with Recon, you don't have to worry about Terra Incarnate at all. And there's the Phoenix, Fire King Avatar Yaksha, and the opponent just waits for death. So even if we destroy this Fire King Avatar Yaksha, even if she had a Yubel in hand, she wouldn't be able to summon it because the Yaksha's effect is blocked. Here we go in second against a fellow Akiza. Hello, sister. What grows in the graveyard? And she doesn't have a skill right now. Face down. We go beat Blazeman for hire into a Donpa, and then we're going to search the Recon. But we're not going to get greedy. For hires can't get greedy anymore because of the nerfs, and also there's just a lot more strong decks. Like, even if for hires were at full power, I don't think that they would be as dominant as they once were. Maybe we can ease up on that in a month or so. Konami, ease up on that. Ban a list. The opponent opts to clear the field. Has the Dragon Mastery. God top deck the Dragunity Ducks, and I should have set one of these monsters, but I was getting a little greedy. If that Dragon Mastery had been a Divine Lance, and Vajrayana could be pumped up with it right now, this game would be over. But anyway, Vajrayana, Ackles, hits the mirror wall, but not enough for lethal damage. We have our own God top deck. See, boys, it evens out. We synchro Shokan into an Aromage. We summon the level 2. Summon the level 2 Donpa. And even if Akiza had a Karibo, she wouldn't be able to play it. Aromage is now safe because much bigger than any future synchro monsters. And here we go first against Maximilian Pegasus. So the next duel is going to be super long. So we're going to have this duel that's super short. And I like to have these when other YouTubers post this, it's very helpful to me because then I can learn like an obscure card effect. So now let's give back a little bit. Does Amazonas Heirloom affect Armades? Does Amazonas Heirloom affect Armades? Let's have that for posterity. So we have our Junk Synchron. Turn 1 Armades. And it is the Amazons. So Amazon's Princess, if it attacks into the Armades, it cannot activate its effect because of Armades' effect. Okay, so Amazonas Heirloom. Okay, so why do we ask this question? Equip only to an Amazonas monster. Once returned, that monster cannot be destroyed by battle. When the equipped monster attacks, after damage calculation, destroy that attack target. And Armades cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. If you're fuzzy on damage step or damage calculation, like I am, maybe I was rather, maybe this is not super obvious. All the TCG people are like, of course, James. Well, now James knows. All right, so Amazonas Heirloom takes big damage, but it can't activate. It protects the princess, but it doesn't get the destroy effect. And with Armades, we can just slap back because we're not afraid of the traps. Okay, and here we're going first. This is actually my very first duel with the deck. My build was a little bit different. I was still, so we have an Akiza using what grows in the graveyard. This Akiza has Armades. I still have those attack declaration traps in the deck, and it was actually because of this duel that I took them out. So we top the Junk Synchron, go into our Armades. Treacherous Hole. This is why you want multiple Armades. Instead of 2 Armades, I have 2 Ancient Fairy Dragon. But I got 2 Junk Synchrons, so I can't really complain. And this is Aromages with Junk Synchron. So I'm using for hires with Junk Synchron. This person has Aromages with Junk Synchron. And I love the creativity. I think that and Trap Trixes. So basically they took the new cards from the box and then just stuffed them into an Aromages deck. And I like it a lot. They just really needed to draw. If they had drawn into their Junk Synchron early, they would have been in trouble. Alright, so now we're just going to fall back on the other part of the deck that works. So Junk Synchron into Armades is very strong. We can't always guarantee that when we're using what grows in the graveyard, we can't use like reinforcements to guarantee the Junk Synchron. So right, that's why we're using something else in the deck. That works. So the Trap Trick, and this is why I don't like the Trap. I don't love the Trap Trixes. Only Dionera actually draws the traps. And if you don't have them, Atrax is just basically a normal monster that can't be hit with Treacherous Trap Hole. Alright, so we have Aroma Garden, Aromage Rosemary, Junk Synchron. So I have, I think I have a Floodgate. Yeah, I have a Floodgate. But see, the thing about the Junk Synchron is as soon as you see that, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna hold on to the Floodgate. For the Synchro Shokan, there it is, Floodgate. Armades is rendered useless. Bring back the Dyna, Hero for Hire. And we have Aroma Garden, Aromage Rosemary, changes Dyna defense position. None of these traps, Wall of Daddy wouldn't have saved it. We bring it back with the Mayhem. And so that's why I like for hires with the Junk Synchron, because the Mayhem can bring back monsters. We can have all kinds of Mayhem. Hey! Alright, so, and because of the Aromage's special ability to gain up the life points, this duel kind of goes on forever. I think that's the first Junk Synchron, right. Brings back the Aromage Jasmine, but evidently did not have the Synchro Shokan. Was trying to draw into another card. Let's see, what's this? This is level 7. Ancient Fairy, Dragon, Aroma, Garden. And this is why I changed up my deck a little bit. So this, without the Donpas, without the Mage Power, we get walled out. We get walled out by these big monsters, and everybody loves those one that got away stories. I had a good duel against the Silent Waifu deck, and I feel like I had him on the ropes. I just couldn't get over that level 8. Bergamot, Rose Archer blocks the trap. But we have the backup, we have the Sakuretsu armor, and we're just gonna let the opponent kind of deck out a little bit. We're just gonna let them completely deck out, bring back the Dyna, and then we're gonna sync tribute for the Dyna, and then we're gonna hit this Aromage Rosemary, and the opponent draws their final card, and then they somehow lose with 10,000 LP. I don't know, is that common? Anyway, so that's a fun deck for the Junk Synchron. If you complain about for hires, know that my response is they got hard nerfed, so it's now a feat to use for hires in ranked. Thank you for watching.